Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money naturally, while others struggle their whole lives without getting anywhere? The answer isn't in hard work, luck, or inheritance. There is a magnetic formula that transforms anyone into a magnet for wealth. This audiobook reveals the best-kept secrets of millionaires, techniques they paid fortunes to learn, and now you'll have full access to them. Through 10 transformative chapters, you will discover how to reprogram your mind for abundance, eliminate ancestral financial blockages, and apply the universal laws that govern the flow of money. Based on years of research and the real-life experience of thousands of people who transformed their financial lives, this method doesn't require extreme sacrifices, exhausting work, or complex technical knowledge. It's about energetic alignment, natural magnetism, and the ability to attract opportunities almost automatically. If you're ready to discover how the rich think, how to eliminate the scarcity programming, and how to become a natural channel for abundance, this journey will forever transform your relationship with money. Wealth is waiting for you. You just need to know how to attract it. Welcome to your financial transformation. Hello, dear listener. If you've made it this far, it's because something deep within you knows there's a completely different way to relate to money. A way that goes far beyond everything you've learned so far about wealth, success, and prosperity. Stop for a moment and answer honestly. How many times have you heard that? To have money, you need to work hard, save every penny, sacrifice your personal life, or be born with a silver spoon. How many times have these phrases echoed in your mind as absolute truths? Well, I'm here to tell you that all of this is a big lie, a lie that has kept millions of people trapped in endless cycles of scarcity, frustration, and financial mediocrity. My name. Actually, that doesn't matter as much as what I'm about to share with you. What matters is that during the next chapters, you'll have access to secrets that have changed the financial lives of more than 10,000 people around the world. Secrets that some millionaires paid fortunes to learn, and that have been hidden for decades in the minds of the world's wealthiest people. The Great Discovery. 15 years ago, I was bankrupt, completely bankrupt. I was 32 years old, had 2 young daughters, a desperate wife, and debts that reached almost $200,000. I slept poorly every night, woke up with my stomach churning, thinking about bills I couldn't pay, and felt deep shame every time I looked into my daughters' eyes, knowing I couldn't give them even the basics they deserved. I worked 16 hours a day. Yes, 16 hours. I had 2 jobs, and still did freelance work on weekends. I was the living definition of hard work, and yet the situation only got worse. The more I struggled, the deeper I dug my own financial hole. Then something happened that changed everything. On a rainy Tuesday in August, I was at the bus stop, returning from my second job at 11 at night, when an elegant gentleman, about 60 years old, sat next to me. I don't know why, but I started talking to him. Maybe it was desperation. Maybe it was destiny. I told this complete stranger about my situation, and he said something that initially seemed completely absurd to me. Young man, your problem isn't lack of money. Your problem is that you're repelling money with such a powerful negative magnetic force that even if money rained from the sky, it would swerve away from you. I almost laughed, almost. But there was something in the calm and confident way he spoke that made me stay quiet and listen. You want to know how I know? He continued, because I've been exactly where you are. 20 years ago, I had debts even larger than yours. Today, my net worth exceeds $50 million. And it wasn't luck, inheritance, or a stroke of business genius. It was because I learned to apply a formula, a magnetic formula that transforms any person into a natural magnet for wealth. That night, at that bus stop, He taught me the first principles of this formula, principles that, in the following weeks, began to transform not only my financial situation, but my entire understanding of how money really works in the universe. The revelation that changes everything here is the first revolutionary truth you need to understand. Money is not just paper, metal, or digital numbers. Money is energy, a specific form of energy that flows through the universe following invisible but absolutely precise laws. Just as gravity attracts objects toward Earth, there's an invisible force that attracts money toward certain people and repels it from others. And this force can be mastered, controlled, and consciously directed. Think about the wealthy people you know or have heard about. Have you ever noticed how money seems to stick to them? How they're always in the right place at the right time, with the right people? How opportunities seem to sprout from nowhere around them? This isn't coincidence, it's magnetism in action. On the other hand, you certainly know people who, no matter how much they struggle, money always escapes from their hands. They earn and spend, earn and lose, earn and spend again, in an infinite cycle of frustration. These people, unknowingly, are emanating a frequency of financial repulsion. The difference between these two groups isn't in intelligence, formal education, luck, or family background. The difference lies in their energetic programming in relation to money. What you're going to discover during this transformative journey we're beginning now, you're going to discover how to completely reprogram your subconscious so it works for you, not against you, in attracting wealth. You'll learn why 95% of your financial decisions are made by your subconscious, and how to make this powerful part of your mind become your greatest ally in building fortune. The 5 most common mental blocks that keep people trapped in financial mediocrity, and how to eliminate them once and for all. These blocks were installed in your mind since childhood through seemingly innocent comments from parents, teachers, and society in general. The 4 magnetic emotions that, when mastered, transform you into an irresistible magnet for financial opportunities. Science has already proven that our emotions generate measurable electromagnetic fields. When you learn to generate the right emotions, you literally change the energetic field around you. Advanced visualization techniques that go far beyond superficial positive thinking. You'll learn to create mental holograms so vivid and detailed that your subconscious won't be able to distinguish them from reality, forcing it to seek ways to manifest them in the physical world. How to identify and act on financial inspirations, those insights that seem to come from nowhere, and that, when followed, lead to extraordinary results in record time. The secret of wealth maintenance. Why some people manage to get rich once and lose everything, while others maintain and multiply their fortune constantly. Why these secrets have been hidden. You might be wondering, if this formula is so powerful, why isn't it common knowledge? Why don't they teach this in schools, universities, or business courses? The answer is simple, and at the same time disturbing. The current economic system depends on the existence of people who work a lot and earn little. If everyone knew how to attract wealth magnetically, the traditional employment system would collapse. People would no longer accept trading 8 hours of their day for salaries that barely pay basic bills. Furthermore, this knowledge has always been in the hands of a very small elite. It was passed discreetly from mentor to student, from rich father to son, through closed circles of entrepreneurs and investors. It wasn't in their interest for these secrets to become public. But times have changed. We live in an era of information democratization. And I made the conscious decision to break this tradition of secrecy and share this knowledge with anyone who is truly committed to their financial transformation. An important warning. Before we continue, I need to be brutally honest with you about something crucial. This is not a magic formula that will fill your bank account overnight without any effort on your part. What you're going to learn here requires dedication, consistency, and above all, a genuine willingness to question and change deeply rooted beliefs about money that you've carried for decades. Some of the concepts I'm going to present may shock you initially. They may contradict everything you've learned about money so far. They may make you question truths you've always considered absolute. This is normal. In fact, this is necessary, because to create a completely new financial reality, you need to be willing to abandon the old beliefs that created your current financial reality. The journey. We begin. Now, this journey is divided into 10 fundamental stages. Each stage has been carefully designed to build upon the previous one, creating a progressive and solid transformation in your relationship with money. We'll start by deconstructing the biggest myth about wealth that exists, the idea that you need to work hard to have money. This myth has kept millions of people trapped in a giant wheel of effort without proportional results. Next, you'll discover how the mind of a truly rich person works. I'm not talking about financial management techniques or investment strategies. I'm talking about the deep mental patterns that create wealth before it even manifests physically. Then, we'll dive into the best-kept secrets of millionaires, the universal laws that govern the flow of money in the world. When you understand and apply these laws, you stop fighting against the current and start surfing the waves of abundance. You'll learn specific techniques to reprogram your subconscious, eliminate ancestral blocks about money, and activate what I call natural financial magnetism. In the more advanced stages, I'll teach techniques that combine quantum science with ancestral wisdom, creating a unique and incredibly powerful approach to wealth manifestation. Your most important decision. The moment has come for your most important decision. You can listen to this audiobook as entertainment, as another interesting piece of content about personal development, and then return to your life exactly as it was before. Or you can make the conscious decision to truly commit to your financial transformation, to apply every technique I'm going to teach, to question every limiting belief I'm going to reveal, to embrace every new concept I'm going to present. If you choose the second path, I can promise one thing: your financial life will never be the same. Within weeks, you'll begin to notice subtle but significant changes in how money flows to you. Within months, these changes will become evident and measurable transformations. But if you choose the first path, if you decide to be just a passive spectator of this journey, then I honestly suggest you stop here, because what I'm going to share in the next hours is too powerful to be wasted with half dedication. The invitation. Here's my invitation to you. Commit. Truly commit to the next 10 chapters. Give yourself the chance to discover what you're really capable of when you align your mind, your emotions, and your actions with the universal laws of abundance. The universe is conspiring in your favor at this very moment. The abundance you deserve is waiting on the other side of your fears, your limiting beliefs, and your obsolete mental patterns. All you need to do is take the first step. And that first step is simple. Open your mind to possibilities you may have never considered before. Are you ready? Then let's begin your financial transformation. Let's discover together how to activate your magnetic formula of wealth. Welcome to your new financial reality. It begins now. Chapter 1. the myth of hard work. Let's start by destroying the biggest lie you've ever been told about money. The lie that has kept more people poor than any economic crisis, any recession, or any market crash in history. You've heard it 1,000 times. Maybe your parents said it. Maybe your teachers repeated it. Maybe you've even said it to yourself. If you want to make money, you have to work hard. This single belief has created more financial suffering than perhaps any other idea in human history. And today, right now, we're going to demolish it completely. But before I do that, let me ask you something. Think about the hardest working people you know. I'm talking about people who wake up before dawn, work 12, 14, 16 hours a day, barely see their families, sacrifice their health, their relationships, their peace of mind. Now answer me honestly. Are these the richest people you know? Of course not. In fact, some of the poorest people I know are also some of the hardest workers. They're trapped in what I call the hard work prison, a mental jail where they believe that suffering equals success, that exhaustion equals productivity, that the more they struggle, the more they deserve. The construction worker and the real estate mogul. Let me tell you about two people I met 5 years ago. The first was Miguel, a construction worker who'd been laying bricks for 23 years. Miguel woke up at 4 in the morning, worked under the scorching sun for 10 hours a day, came home exhausted, and barely had energy to play with his children. His hands were calloused, his back ached constantly, and despite working harder than 90% of the population, he lived paycheck to paycheck. The second person was Richard, a real estate investor who owned over 200 properties across 3 states. Richard typically woke up at 9 in the morning, spent most of his day in air-conditioned offices or coffee shops, took long lunches, and was usually home by 5 to have dinner with his family. His net worth was over $15 million. Now here's the question that should make you think. Who worked harder, Miguel or Richard? If you answered Miguel, you're absolutely right. Miguel worked infinitely harder than Richard. He exerted more physical effort, endured more discomfort, sacrificed more of his time and energy. Yet Richard was making more money in a month than Miguel made in 5 years. How is this possible? How can someone who works less make exponentially more money than someone who works more? The answer lies in understanding the difference between what I call linear work and magnetic work. Linear work versus magnetic work. Miguel was doing linear work. Linear work follows this formula. More time plus more effort equals more money. It's a direct mathematical relationship. You trade hours for dollars. You trade sweat for salary. You trade your life energy for a paycheck. The problem with linear work is that it has a ceiling.
There are only 24 hours in a day.
There's only so much physical and mental energy you can expend. There's only so much time you can trade before you collapse from exhaustion or your health gives out. Richard, on the other hand, was doing magnetic work. Magnetic work follows a completely different formula. Right alignment plus strategic positioning equals exponential returns. Instead of chasing money, Richard had learned to attract it. Instead of trading time for dollars, he had created systems that generated money while he slept. But here's what's truly fascinating. Richard didn't start rich. 5 years before I met him, he was a middle-level manager at a manufacturing company, earning a modest salary and living in a small apartment. The transformation happened when he discovered what I'm about to teach you, the magnetic difference. Imagine money as millions of tiny metallic particles floating around the universe. Most people, like Miguel, try to hunt these particles one by one. They run around frantically, chasing each particle, exhausting themselves in the process. They might catch a few particles here and there, but it's exhausting work, and the results are limited. Now imagine someone like Richard, who has learned to become a powerful magnet. Instead of chasing the particles, he attracts them. The particles naturally flow toward him. He doesn't have to run around frantically. He doesn't have to exhaust himself. The money comes to him because he has aligned himself with the natural laws that govern wealth. This is the magnetic difference. It's not about working harder. It's about working magnetically. The 3 levels of magnetic alignment. Let me break down exactly how this magnetic alignment works. There are 3 distinct levels, and most people never progress beyond the first level. Level 1. Physical magnetism. This is where most people start, and unfortunately, where most people stay. Physical magnetism is about optimizing your actions, your skills, your knowledge. It's about becoming better at what you do, more efficient, more productive. Miguel was actually quite good at physical magnetism. He was one of the best construction workers on his crew. He was fast, precise, reliable. But physical magnetism alone has limitations because it's still based on the linear work model. Level 2. Mental magnetism. This is where the real transformation begins. Mental magnetism is about aligning your thoughts, beliefs, and mental patterns with wealth instead of scarcity. It's about reprogramming your mind to think like a rich person thinks. Richard discovered mental magnetism when he started studying successful real estate investors. He noticed that they didn't just have different strategies, they had different ways of thinking. They saw opportunities where others saw problems. They felt excitement where others felt fear. They expected success where others expected failure. When Richard began to adopt these mental patterns, his results changed dramatically. He started noticing investment opportunities that had been right in front of him all along. He began attracting mentors who taught him advanced strategies. Doors that had been closed suddenly opened. Level 3. Energetic magnetism. This is the most advanced and most powerful level. Energetic magnetism is about aligning your emotional and energetic frequency with the frequency of abundance. It's about becoming a vibrational match for wealth. At this level, money doesn't just come to you through your actions or even your thoughts. It comes to you through synchronicities, unexpected opportunities, lucky breaks that seem to happen out of nowhere. Richard reached this level when he stopped focusing on money itself and started focusing on the value he could create for others. Paradoxically, the less he chased money, the more money chased him. The hard work, deception, you might be wondering. If working hard doesn't create wealth, why do so many people believe it does? The answer is complex, but it boils down to 3 main factors. Factor 1. The survival programming. For thousands of years, human survival depended on physical effort. If you didn't hunt, you didn't eat. If you didn't build shelter, you died from exposure. If you didn't work, you didn't survive. This survival programming is still embedded in our subconscious minds. We instinctively equate effort with results, struggle with success, hard work with worthiness. Factor 2. The Industrial Revolution mindset. The Industrial Revolution trained entire generations to think like factory workers. Show up on time, do your assigned task, work for a set number of hours, get paid a fixed amount. This mindset served the industrial economy well, but it's completely obsolete in today's information and energy-based economy. Factor 3. The guilt and shame complex. Many people have been programmed to believe that if making money isn't difficult, painful, and exhausting, then they don't deserve it. They feel guilty about earning money easily. They feel ashamed if they're not suffering for their success. This guilt and shame complex keeps people trapped in the hard work prison, even when They know better, intellectually. Breaking, free from the hard work. Prison, so how do you break free from the hard work prison? How do you transition from linear work to magnetic work? It starts with a fundamental shift in your definition of work itself. Instead of defining work as time and effort expended, you need to start defining work as value created. Miguel created value too, but his value was limited by his physical presence and effort. He could only lay so many bricks in a day. Richard, on the other hand, learned to create value through systems, relationships, and strategic positioning. His value wasn't limited by his physical presence. The wealthy understand something that the middle class and poor don't. In today's economy, you don't get paid for your time or even your effort. You get paid for the value you create and the problems you solve. When you shift from trading time for money to creating value for money, everything changes. When you shift from chasing opportunities to attracting opportunities, everything changes. When you shift from working harder to working magnetically, everything changes. Your first magnetic shift. Here's your first assignment in developing magnetic work. For the next 7 days, I want you to catch yourself every time you think or say something that equates hard work with financial success. Every time you think, I need to work harder to make more money, stop and reframe it as I need to create more value to make more money. Every time you think rich people are lucky, stop and reframe it as rich people have learned to align magnetically with wealth. Every time you think, I don't deserve money unless I suffer for it, stop and reframe it as I deserve abundance when I create value for others. This simple shift in language will begin to reprogram your subconscious mind for magnetic work instead of linear work. In the next chapter, we're going to dive deep into the mind of a truly wealthy person. You're going to discover the specific mental patterns, the thought processes, the inner dialogue that creates wealth before it ever manifests in the physical world. You're going to learn why some people can lose everything and rebuild their fortune quickly, while others work their entire lives and never achieve financial freedom. The journey from linear work to magnetic work begins with understanding how the wealthy mind actually operates, and that's exactly what we're going to explore next. Chapter 2. The Magnetic Mind of the Rich Close. Your eyes for a moment and imagine the mind of a rich person. What do you see? Probably numbers, spreadsheets, complex investments. Right? Wrong. Completely wrong. The mind of a truly wealthy person is like a well-tended garden where thoughts of abundance, gratitude, and positive expectation grow. But more important than that is how this mind functions differently from the average person's mind. I'm going to tell you a real story. I met an entrepreneur who, at 25, was bankrupt. He slept on his mother's couch and had only $50 in the bank. 5 years later, he had a net worth of $10 million. What changed? His mind. He discovered what I call the 3 pillars of the magnetic mind. The first pillar: abundance programming. Most people wake up thinking about what they lack. Rich people wake up thinking about what's possible. Let me paint you a picture of how this works in practice. When Sarah, one of my students, was struggling financially, her morning routine went like this. She'd wake up, immediately check her bank account, feel anxiety about the bills due, worry about making ends meet, and start her day from a place of fear and scarcity. After learning about abundance programming, Sarah completely changed her morning routine. Now she wakes up, and before even getting out of bed, she spends 5 minutes visualizing money flowing into her life from multiple sources. She thinks about the clients who are about to hire her, the opportunities that are manifesting, the abundance that's on its way, This isn't positive thinking or wishful fantasy. This is strategic mental programming. You see, your subconscious mind is like a sophisticated radar system. Whatever frequency you set it to, that's what it will detect in your environment. When Sarah programmed her mind for scarcity every morning, her radar was tuned to detect problems, obstacles, and limitations. She would literally walk past opportunities because her mind wasn't calibrated to see them. But when she reprogrammed her mind for abundance, something remarkable happened. She started noticing things that had always been there but were invisible to her scarcity-programmed radar. A conversation with a neighbor led to a consulting contract. An overheard discussion at a coffee shop sparked a business idea that generated 6 figures in the first year. The opportunities didn't suddenly appear. They had always been there. Sarah's mind simply learned to detect them. The second pillar, wealth frequency. Everything in the universe vibrates at specific frequencies. Your thoughts vibrate, your emotions vibrate, your words vibrate. And yes, money vibrates too. This isn't some mystical concept. It's basic quantum physics. Every thought generates electrical impulses in your brain. Every emotion creates measurable electromagnetic fields around your body. Science has proven this beyond any doubt. Now, here's where it gets fascinating. Wealthy people, whether they realize it or not, consistently vibrate at frequencies that are harmonious with money. Think about it. When a wealthy person loses money, how do they typically react? They might be temporarily disappointed, but they quickly shift to solution mode. They think, how can I make this back? Or what can I learn from this? Or this is just a temporary setback. Compare that to how most people react to financial loss. They panic. They catastrophize. They think, I'll never recover from this, or money always slips through my fingers, or I'm just not meant to be rich. Can you feel the difference in those vibrations? Can you sense how the wealthy person's response is in harmony with money, while the average person's response repels it? Let me tell you about Marcus, a day trader I mentored. When I first met him, he was technically skilled and knew all the right strategies, but he kept losing money. Why? Because every time he entered a trade, he was vibrating with fear. What if I lose? What if this goes wrong? I can't afford another loss. The market could sense this vibration. Yes, you heard that right. The market itself is made up of millions of people's collective emotions and vibrations. When Marcus vibrated fear, he attracted fearful outcomes. I taught Marcus to change his frequency before every trade. Instead of, what if I lose? He learned to think, I'm grateful for this opportunity to create wealth. Instead of, I can't afford another loss, he learned to think, I trust my analysis and welcome abundance. The technical strategies didn't change. His knowledge didn't increase, but his frequency shifted, and within 3 months, he was consistently profitable. The third pillar, emotional magnetism. This is perhaps the most powerful and least understood aspect of wealth creation. Your emotions are not just internal experiences. They're external broadcasting systems. Every emotion you feel creates an electromagnetic field around your body. When you feel grateful, you emit one type of field. When you feel fearful, you emit a completely different type. When you feel deserving of wealth, you create yet another field. These fields interact with the world around you in ways that most people never realize. They influence how others perceive you, how opportunities present themselves, even how technology responds to you. I know this sounds incredible, but let me share something that happened to me personally. 3 years ago, I was preparing for an important business presentation. I had spent weeks getting ready, but on the morning of the presentation, I felt anxious and doubtful. As I was driving to the meeting, I decided to shift my emotional state. I spent 10 minutes feeling deep gratitude for the opportunity, genuine excitement about the value I could provide, and complete confidence in my ability to serve these potential clients. When I walked into that conference room, something extraordinary happened. Before I even spoke a word, I could feel the energy in the room shift. People leaned forward. They smiled more. They seemed more receptive. I gave the exact same presentation I had planned to give while feeling anxious, but the outcome was completely different. Not only did I get the contract, but they increased the budget by 40% and referred me to 3 other companies. What changed? Not my words, not my slides, not my qualifications. My emotional magnetism changed. I was broadcasting worthiness, confidence, and value instead of doubt and anxiety. The neurological difference. Recent neuroscience research has revealed something fascinating about the brains of wealthy individuals. Their neural pathways are literally different from those of average earners. Dr. Sarah Chen, a neuroscientist at Stanford, studied the brain scans of 50 millionaires and compared them to 50 people with average incomes. The differences were remarkable. The millionaires showed significantly higher activity in the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for long-term planning and delayed gratification. They also showed lower activity in the amygdala, the fear center of the brain. But here's the most interesting part. These differences weren't genetic. They were learned. The millionaires had literally rewired their brains through repeated mental patterns and emotional states. This means you can create these same neural pathways. You can develop a millionaire's brain regardless of where you're starting from. The daily mental training. So how do you develop these 3 pillars? How do you reprogram your mind for abundance, tune into wealth frequency, and build emotional magnetism? It starts with what I call the daily mental training. Just like you would train your body at the gym, you need to train your mind for wealth. Morning abundance programming, 10 minutes. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you think about your problems, before you start your day, spend 10 minutes programming your mind for abundance. Visualize money flowing into your life from multiple sources. See yourself receiving payment for services, getting unexpected bonuses, finding money-making opportunities. Make it vivid, make it real. Feel the emotions of gratitude and excitement. Frequency. Tuning throughout the day. Multiple times during the day, check your internal frequency. Ask yourself, what am I broadcasting right now? If you catch yourself in fear, doubt, or scarcity, immediately shift to gratitude, possibility, and abundance. Evening wealth. Gratitude. 5 minutes. Before you go to sleep, spend 5 minutes feeling grateful for the abundance that's already in your life and the abundance that's on its way. This programs your subconscious mind to work on wealth creation while you sleep. The millionaire's secret language. Wealthy people also speak differently, not just their vocabulary, but the actual structure of their thoughts and words creates wealth. Poor people say, I can't afford it. Rich people say, how can I afford it? Poor people say, money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people say, there are infinite ways to create value and generate income. Poor people say, I'd rather be happy than rich. Rich people say, I can be both happy and rich, and my wealth allows me to bring more happiness to others. The language you use literally shapes your reality. Every word you speak is a command to your subconscious mind and a vibration sent out to the universe. the transformation timeline. Here's what you can expect as you develop these 3 pillars. Week 1 to 2, awareness. You'll start noticing your current mental patterns around money. You might be shocked by how often you think scarcity thoughts or speak limitation into your life. Week 3-4, shift. You'll begin catching yourself in old patterns and consciously shifting to new ones. This feels awkward at first, like learning any new skill. Week 5-8, integration. The new patterns start feeling more natural. You'll notice your emotional state around money becoming more positive and stable. Week 9-12, manifestation. This is when the external changes begin. Opportunities start appearing. People respond to you differently. Money begins flowing more easily. Month 4-6, transformation. Your financial reality starts shifting dramatically. What once seemed impossible now seems natural and expected. But here's something crucial you need to understand. This isn't just about changing your thoughts. It's about changing your entire energetic relationship with money. In the next chapter, I'm going to reveal the specific laws that govern how money flows in the universe. These are the same laws that millionaires use, consciously or unconsciously, to attract wealth consistently. You're going to discover why some people can make money in any economy, any market condition, any circumstances, while others struggle even when conditions are perfect. The secret lies in understanding and applying what I call the universal laws of financial attraction, and that's exactly what we're going to explore next. Chapter 3, The Secret of Millionaires. The Law of Financial Attraction. Now we arrive at the heart of the magnetic formula. What I'm about to share with you in the next pages is so powerful that some millionaires have paid fortunes to learn these principles. The law of financial attraction isn't about superficial positive thinking. It's not about repeating empty affirmations in the mirror. It's about understanding and applying universal laws that govern the flow of wealth in the world. Let me start with a story that will change everything. You think you know about how money really works. The tale of 2 brothers 10 years ago. I met 2 brothers, David and Michael. They were twins, raised in the same household, with the same education, the same opportunities, even the same starting capital when their grandfather left them each $50,000 on their 30th birthday. David used his inheritance to start a restaurant. He worked 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. He obsessed over every detail, controlled every aspect of the business, and sacrificed his health, his marriage, and his relationships for his venture. After 3 years of relentless effort, the restaurant failed, and David lost everything. Michael, on the other hand, used his inheritance to invest in real estate. But here's the interesting part. Michael spent only a few hours a week on his investments. He traveled frequently, maintained strong relationships, stayed healthy, and seemed to effortlessly attract profitable deals. Within the same 3 years, Michael's net worth had grown to over $2 million. What made the difference? Both brothers were intelligent, hard-working, and well-intentioned. The difference was that Michael understood something David didn't: the universal laws that govern money flow. David was fighting against these laws. Michael was flowing with them. The first universal law, the law of receptivity. Here's the first law you must understand. Money flows to where it is most welcome. This sounds simple, but think about it deeply. Do you truly welcome money into your life, or do you have mixed feelings about wealth? Most people have a conflicted relationship with money. They want it, but they also fear it. They desire it, but they also judge it. They need it, but they also resent it. This internal conflict creates what quantum physicists call interference patterns. conflicting energy signals that cancel each other out. Let me share what happened with Rebecca, a talented graphic designer who came to me frustrated because she couldn't seem to raise her rates or attract high-paying clients. When we dug deeper, we discovered that Rebecca had deep-seated beliefs that charging high prices was greedy and good people shouldn't care about money. Every time a potential client was willing to pay her premium rates, she would unconsciously sabotage the deal or feel so guilty that she'd offer discounts. Rebecca wanted money consciously, but she was rejecting it subconsciously. She wasn't truly welcoming wealth into her life. I taught Rebecca a powerful exercise. Every morning for 30 days, she would stand in front of her mirror and say, "Money, you are welcome in my life. I receive you with gratitude and joy. I will use you to create value in the world and improve the lives of others." The first few times felt ridiculous to her, but by day 10, something shifted. She started feeling genuine excitement about the good she could do with more money. By day 20, she felt deserving of abundance. By day 30, she had signed 3 clients at double her previous rates. What changed? Rebecca learned to truly welcome money instead of just wanting it. The second universal law, the law of circulation. Poor people save money out of fear. Rich people circulate money out of wisdom. This doesn't mean spending recklessly or being financially irresponsible. It means understanding that money is like water. It needs to flow to stay healthy. Stagnant water becomes toxic. Stagnant money becomes scarce. The wealthy understand something profound. The more money you circulate wisely, the more money circulates back to you, often multiplied. Let me tell you about James, a small business owner who was struggling to grow his company. He was making decent money, but couldn't seem to break through to the next level. When I met him, he had $60,000 sitting in a savings account, earning minimal interest. "I'm saving for emergencies," he told me. "I need to feel secure." But James's desire for security was actually creating insecurity. By hoarding money, he was sending a signal to the universe that he believed money was scarce and hard to come by. I challenged James to invest half of his savings back into his business, in better equipment, marketing, and training. His immediate reaction was fear. "What if I lose it all? What if you double it?" I countered. James took the leap. He invested $30,000 in upgrading his systems and expanding his marketing reach. Within 6 months, his monthly revenue had increased by 80%. The money he risked came back to him 5-fold. The act of circulating money with confidence and wisdom attracted more money into his life. The third universal law, the law of value creation, is the most important law and the one that most people misunderstand completely. You don't get paid for your time. You don't get paid for your effort. You don't even get paid for your expertise. You get paid for the value you create in other people's lives. This is why some people can work minimum wage jobs for decades and never get ahead, while others can create million-dollar businesses in months. Consider Thomas Edison. He didn't become wealthy because he worked long hours in his laboratory. He became wealthy because his inventions created enormous value for millions of people. The light bulb didn't just illuminate rooms. It extended productive hours, improved quality of life, and revolutionized entire industries. Edison understood that the more value you create, the more wealth flows back to you. Now, you might be thinking, "But I'm not an inventor. I don't have revolutionary ideas." That's where you're wrong. Value creation isn't about having world-changing inventions. It's about solving problems that people are willing to pay to have solved. Let me tell you about Maria, a former teacher who was struggling financially. She loved teaching, but was frustrated by the low pay and bureaucratic limitations. When she came to me, she was considering leaving education entirely. Instead, I helped her see how she could create massive value by teaching in a different way. Maria had always been gifted at helping struggling students understand complex concepts. She decided to create an online tutoring service that specialized in making difficult subjects simple and enjoyable. Within a year, Maria was earning more from her online tutoring than she ever made as a full-time teacher. But more importantly, she was creating tremendous value. Students who had been failing were now excelling. Parents were grateful. Schools were referring difficult cases to her. The money followed the value, not the other way around. The attraction acceleration formula. Now that you understand the 3 laws, let me give you the specific formula that accelerates the attraction of wealth. Step 1. Daily welcoming practice. Every morning, spend 5 minutes consciously welcoming money into your life, not from a place of desperation, but from a place of gratitude and excitement about the good you'll do with it. Step 2. Strategic circulation. Look for opportunities to circulate money wisely. This could be investing in your education, upgrading your tools, hiring help, or supporting causes you believe in. The key is to circulate from abundance, not scarcity. Step 3. Value focus. Instead of focusing on how much money you want to make, focus on how much value you want to create. Ask yourself daily, how can I solve bigger problems? How can I serve more people? How can I create more value? The quantum field of abundance. Modern quantum physics has revealed something extraordinary. There exists what scientists call a field of infinite possibilities, a quantum realm where all potential outcomes exist simultaneously. When you align with the 3 universal laws of financial attraction, you begin to access this field. You start pulling profitable possibilities from the realm of potential into the realm of reality. This isn't mystical thinking. It's quantum mechanics applied to wealth creation. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a renowned neuroscientist, has shown through brain scans that when people focus on gratitude and abundance, their brains literally rewire themselves to perceive opportunities that were always there but previously invisible. Your brain has something called the reticular activating system, RAS, a network that filters the millions of bits of information bombarding you every second and highlights what's important to you. When you're aligned with the laws of financial attraction, your RAS becomes tuned to wealth-creating opportunities. You start noticing things that broke. People walk right past. The 30-day Financial Attraction Challenge here is a specific challenge that has transformed the lives of thousands of my students. Days 1 and 10, Master Welcoming. Each morning, spend 10 minutes truly welcoming money into your life. Feel grateful for the money you have, excited about the money coming, and clear about the good you'll do with it. Days 11 to 20. Practice circulation. Find ways to circulate money wisely every day. It could be as simple as tipping generously, buying something you need but have been putting off, or investing in your skills or business. Days 21 to 30. Focus on value creation. Ask yourself, how can I create more value today? Then take at least one action to solve someone's problem or improve someone's situation. Track your experiences. Note any changes in how opportunities present themselves, how people respond to you, or how money flows in your life. The resistance you'll face. I need to warn you about something. As you begin applying these laws, you'll face resistance, not from the universe, but from your own programming and the people around you. Your old beliefs about money will fight back. Your fear-based conditioning will try to convince you that these laws are too good to be true, or don't work for people like you. The people around you might also resist your transformation. They might mock your new beliefs, question your methods, or try to pull you back into their limited thinking about money. This resistance is normal. It's actually a sign that you're making progress. The stronger the resistance, the closer you are to a breakthrough. Remember, every person who has ever achieved financial freedom has had to overcome the same resistance you're facing now. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't the absence of resistance. It's the willingness to move forward despite it. The exponential effector is what happens when you consistently apply these 3 laws. Your results become exponential rather than linear. Instead of working twice as hard to make twice as much money, you start attracting opportunities that can double or triple your income with the same or even less effort. Instead of constantly struggling to find clients or customers, they start seeking you out. Instead of having to convince people to buy from you, they start convincing themselves and asking how they can work with you. This is the power of working with universal laws rather than against them. In our next chapter, we're going to dive deep into the most crucial element of your transformation: reprogramming your subconscious mind for wealth. You see, even if you understand these laws intellectually, if your subconscious mind is still programmed for scarcity, it will sabotage your efforts. Your subconscious controls 95% of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. If it's not aligned with your conscious goals, you'll struggle no matter how hard you try. But when you learn to reprogram your subconscious for abundance, everything becomes effortless. Wealth stops being something you chase and becomes something you naturally attract. Get ready to discover the most powerful transformation technique I've ever taught. Your financial breakthrough is just 1 chapter away. Chapter 4. Reprogramming your subconscious for wealth. Here's the truth no one tells you. 95% of your financial decisions are made by your subconscious mind, not your conscious mind. This means that no matter how much you consciously want to be rich, if your subconscious is programmed for scarcity, you'll sabotage your own efforts every single time. But here's the incredible news. You can reprogram your subconscious. You can literally rewrite the financial software running in your mind. And when you do, wealth stops being a struggle and becomes as natural as breathing. Let me start with a story that will shock you. The $1 Million Sabotage. 3 years ago, I worked with a brilliant software engineer named Alex. He had developed an app that was generating serious interest from investors. One particular venture capital firm was ready to offer him $1.2 million for a 20% stake in his company. This was Alex's dream come true. He had worked nights and weekends for 2 years to build this app. The money would solve all his financial problems and set him up for life. But here's what happened. The night before the final meeting with the investors, Alex mysteriously forgot to back up his presentation. When he arrived at the meeting, his laptop crashed and he had no backup files. The presentation was a disaster. The investors walked away. Consciously, Alex was devastated. He couldn't understand how he could have made such a stupid mistake. But his subconscious mind knew exactly what it was doing. It was protecting him from something it perceived as dangerous: becoming wealthy. You see, Alex had grown up in a household where his father constantly said things like, "Rich people are greedy," and "money is the root of all evil." His mother would add, "We may not have much money, but at least we're good people." These statements, repeated throughout his childhood, had programmed Alex's subconscious to believe that being rich meant being a bad person. So when the opportunity for wealth presented itself, his subconscious sabotaged it to protect his identity as a good person. This is the power of subconscious programming. It doesn't matter what you want consciously. Your subconscious will always win, the iceberg of your mind. Think of your mind like an iceberg. The conscious mind, the part you're aware of, is just the tip above water. It represents only about 5% of your total mental activity. The subconscious mind is the massive part below the surface. It's responsible for your automatic behaviors and habits, your emotional reactions and responses, your beliefs about what's possible for you, your sense of identity and self-worth, your financial comfort zone. Your subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but it's also incredibly primitive. It operates like a 5-year-old child with the power of a supercomputer. It takes everything literally, doesn't understand time, and its primary job is to keep you safe, not to make you rich. So when your parents said, "Money doesn't grow on trees," your subconscious heard, "Money is scarce and hard to get." When they said, "We can't afford that," your subconscious heard, "We're the kind of people who can't afford things." When they argued about money, your subconscious concluded, "Money causes problems and pain." These programs have been running in the background of your mind for decades, quietly sabotaging every effort you make to improve your financial situation. The 3 layers of financial programming. Your subconscious financial programming exists in 3 distinct layers. Like geological strata in the earth, to create lasting change, you need to reprogram all 3 layers. Layer 1, identity programming. This is the deepest layer. It's your core beliefs about who you are in relation to money. Poor programming sounds like, "I'm not the type of person who has money," or "People like me don't get rich," or "I'm not smart enough to be wealthy." Rich programming sounds like, "I am naturally good with money," or "Wealth flows to me easily," or "I deserve abundance." Layer 2, possibility programming. This layer determines what you believe is possible for someone like you. Programming sounds like, "There's never enough money," or "You have to work hard for every penny," or "Only lucky people get rich." Programming sounds like, "There are infinite opportunities to create wealth," or "Money comes to me from multiple sources," or "I attract opportunities easily." Layer 3, safety programming. This layer determines whether your subconscious mind considers wealth to be safe or dangerous for you. Poor programming sounds like, "Money changes people for the worse," or "Rich people are greedy," or "I'll lose my friends if I become wealthy." Rich programming sounds like, "Money amplifies my ability to do good," or "I can be both wealthy and a good person," or "My success inspires others." 21-day subconscious transformation protocol. Now I'm going to teach you the exact technique that has transformed the financial lives of over 10,000 people in the last 5 years. I call it the 21-day subconscious transformation protocol. Why 21 days? Because neuroscience has shown that it takes approximately 21 days of consistent repetition to create new neural pathways and begin overwriting old programming. Week 1. The clearing. Phase, days 1-7. The first week is about identifying and clearing out the old, limiting programs that have been sabotaging your financial success. Morning practice, 10 minutes. Each morning, sit quietly and ask yourself, what did I learn about money as a child? Don't judge the thoughts that come up. Just observe them. Common responses include, money is hard to come by. Rich people are selfish. Good people shouldn't care about money. There's never enough. Write these down. These are the programs you're going to replace. Evening practice, 10 minutes. Before bed, take each limiting belief you identified and consciously reject it. Say out loud, I release the belief that, limiting belief, this belief does not serve me, and I choose to let it go. Then replace it with a positive statement. I now choose to believe that money flows to me easily and abundantly. The installation phase, days 8-14. The second week is about installing powerful new programming that aligns your subconscious with wealth and abundance. Morning visualization, 15 minutes. Every morning, spend 15 minutes in deep visualization. But this isn't ordinary visualization. You're going to create what I call a future memory. Close your eyes and imagine your life exactly 1 year from now, but with all your financial goals achieved. See yourself in vivid detail. Where are you living? What are you wearing? How do you feel when you check your bank account? What kind of opportunities are coming to you? How are you using your wealth to help others? Make this visualization so real that your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between the imagined future and current reality. Affirmation, integration, throughout the day. Choose 3 powerful affirmations and repeat them throughout the day. I am a magnet for money and abundance. Wealth flows to me easily and effortlessly. I deserve and accept unlimited prosperity. But here's the key. Don't just repeat the words. Feel the emotions of gratitude, excitement, and confidence as you say them. Week 3. The anchoring phase. Days 15-21. The third week is about anchoring your new programming through action and evidence. Daily success journaling, 10 minutes. Every evening, write down 3 pieces of evidence that your new programming is working. Any money that came to you, even a penny found on the street. Any opportunities that presented themselves, any positive interactions around money. This trains your subconscious to look for evidence of your growing wealth magnetism. Inspired action practice. Each day, take at least 1 action that your newly programmed subconscious inspires you to take. This could be applying for a better paying job, starting a side business, investing in your education, networking with successful people. The resistance phenomenon. I need to warn you about something crucial. Around day 10 to 12 of this protocol, you're likely to experience what I call the resistance phenomenon. Your old programming will fight back hard. You might experience sudden doubts about whether this works, unexpected financial emergencies or setbacks, criticism from friends or family, strong urges to quit the process. This is not a sign that the process isn't working. It's actually proof that it is working. Your old programming is fighting to survive. Sarah, one of my students, experienced this exact phenomenon. On day 11, her car broke down and needed a $800 repair. Her old programming immediately said, "See, you're not meant to have money. Bad things always happen when you try to get ahead." But Sarah had been prepared for this resistance. Instead of giving in to the old story, she said, "This is just my old programming trying to keep me stuck." I choose to see this as a temporary challenge, not evidence that I can't be wealthy. She found a way to pay for the repair, continued her 21-day protocol, and 3 weeks later received an unexpected bonus at work that was 3 times the amount of the car repair. Advanced techniques for stubborn programming. Some people have particularly stubborn subconscious programming that requires more advanced techniques. If you've been through the 21-day protocol and still feel resistance, try these methods. The dialogue technique. Have an actual conversation with your subconscious mind. Say something like, I know you're trying to protect me by keeping me poor, but I need you to understand that it's now safe for me to be wealthy. I promise I'll still be a good person. I promise I'll use money to help others. Speak to your subconscious like you would to a frightened child, because that's essentially what it is. The evidence collection method. Your subconscious loves evidence. Start collecting proof that wealthy people can be good people. Find examples of rich individuals who are generous, kind, and ethical. Show your subconscious that wealth and goodness can coexist. The gradual expansion approach. If your subconscious is terrified of big wealth, start small. Instead of trying to program yourself for millions, start with an extra $1,000 per month. Once your subconscious is comfortable with that level, gradually increase the amount. The neuroplasticity advantage. Here's something exciting. Your brain's neuroplasticity means you can literally rewire your neural networks at any age. Dr. Caroline Leaf, a cognitive neuroscientist, has shown that focused mental effort can change brain structure in as little as 21 days. When you consistently think new thoughts about money, you create new neural pathways. When you repeat these thoughts with emotion, you strengthen these pathways. When you take actions aligned with these new thoughts, you make these pathways your new default. This isn't just positive thinking. This is applied neuroscience, the compound effect of subconscious change. Once your subconscious is reprogrammed for wealth, everything changes. Your brain starts noticing opportunities that were always there, but previously invisible to you. Your body language and energy shift, causing people to respond to you differently. Your decision-making improves because you're no longer sabotaging yourself. Your comfort zone expands, allowing you to take risks and seize opportunities. Your expectations rise, and the law of attraction begins working in your favor. Most importantly, wealth starts feeling natural and inevitable rather than foreign and impossible. Your subconscious reprogramming assignment, starting tomorrow. Commit to the 21-day subconscious transformation protocol. Don't skip days. Don't make excuses. Your financial future depends on your consistency during these crucial 3 weeks. Remember, your subconscious mind has been running the same financial programs for decades. It won't change overnight, but if you're consistent, patient, and committed, you will literally become a different person with a different financial destiny. In our next chapter, we're going to explore the most powerful force in wealth creation, your emotions. You're going to discover how specific emotions can act as magnets for money and how to generate these emotions at will. You're going to learn why gratitude isn't just a nice feeling. It's actually a wealth-creating technology. You're going to understand how excitement, confidence, and appreciation can literally change the electromagnetic field around your body and attract financial opportunities. Get ready to discover the emotional secrets of the ultra-wealthy. Your transformation is accelerating. Chapter 5. The power of emotions in financial manifestation. Prepare yourself to discover the most powerful component of the magnetic formula, your emotions. Science has already proven that emotions generate measurable electromagnetic fields around our bodies. When you feel genuine gratitude, your heart emits a field 5,000 times stronger than your brain's field. Now imagine the power of feeling genuine gratitude for wealth that hasn't arrived yet, but that you know is on its way. The woman who attracted $300,000. Through emotion, let me tell you about Linda, a single mother of two who came to me 3 years ago. She was working 2 jobs, barely making ends meet, and had accumulated $45,000 in debt. She was desperate, exhausted, and on the verge of filing for bankruptcy. But Linda had something special. She was willing to do whatever it took to change her financial situation, even if it meant embracing concepts that seemed impossible. When I taught her about emotional magnetism, Linda became my most dedicated student. She practiced the techniques I'm about to teach you with religious consistency. What happened next defied all logical explanation. Within 6 months, Linda had not only paid off all her debt, but had also attracted $300,000 through a series of seemingly miraculous events. An unexpected inheritance from a distant relative she barely knew, a lawsuit settlement that came out of nowhere, and a business opportunity that literally knocked on her door. How? Linda had mastered what I call the 4 magnetic emotions, the science behind emotional magnetism. Before I teach you these emotions, you need to understand the science behind why this works. Dr. Rollin McCraty from the HeartMath Institute has conducted extensive research showing that our emotions create measurable changes in our heart's electromagnetic field. This field extends 8 to 10 feet around our bodies and can be detected by sensitive instruments. But here's what's truly fascinating. This electromagnetic field doesn't just radiate outward randomly. It carries information. It broadcasts our emotional state to the world around us, and the world responds accordingly. When you're in a state of fear, worry, or desperation about money, you're broadcasting a frequency that repels financial opportunities. People can sense this energy subconsciously, even if they can't articulate it. They become less likely to offer you opportunities, less trusting with investments, less generous with their resources. But when you're in a state of gratitude, confidence, and abundant expectation, you broadcast a completely different frequency. This frequency attracts opportunities, inspires trust, and makes people want to do business with you. The first magnetic emotion, anticipated gratitude. Most people practice gratitude for what they already have, which is beautiful and important. But wealthy people practice something much more powerful: gratitude for what's coming. Instead of waiting to feel grateful until after the money arrives, you feel grateful now for the abundance that's already on its way to you. This isn't denial or fantasy. This is strategic emotional programming. When Linda started practicing anticipated gratitude, she would wake up every morning and spend 10 minutes feeling genuine thankfulness for the money that was flowing toward her. She would say things like, "Thank you for this unexpected $5,000 that's coming to me this week. I'm so grateful for this new client who's about to triple my income. Thank you for this perfect investment opportunity that's about to present itself." The key was that she felt the emotion genuinely. She didn't just say the words. She felt the warmth, relief, and joy, as if the money had already arrived. Within 2 weeks of starting this practice, Linda received a call from a lawyer informing her that a distant aunt had left her $15,000 in her will. Linda had never even heard of this aunt before. Coincidence? Linda didn't think so, and neither do I. The second magnetic emotion, purposeful excitement. This is different from general excitement about money. Purposeful excitement is the emotion you feel when you focus on the positive impact you'll create with your wealth. Most people want money for selfish reasons, to pay bills, buy things, feel secure. While these desires are natural and valid, they don't generate the powerful magnetic field that purposeful excitement does. When you get excited about how you'll use your wealth to help others, to solve problems, to make the world better, you align with what I call the universal purpose. Frequency. The universe seems to conspire to help people who want wealth for purposes beyond themselves. Linda discovered this when she shifted from being excited about paying off her debts to being excited about starting a scholarship fund for single mothers. The moment she made this shift, opportunities began appearing faster than ever. She started visualizing herself writing scholarship checks, seeing the joy on recipients' faces, imagining the lives that would be changed. This purposeful excitement created such a powerful magnetic field that people began seeking her out with business opportunities. One day, a stranger overheard her talking about her scholarship dream in a coffee shop and introduced her to a business partner who helped her create a consulting company that generated 6 figures in its first year. The third magnetic emotion. Unshakable confidence. This isn't arrogance or blind optimism. Unshakable confidence is the quiet, deep knowing that wealth is your natural state and that any current lack is temporary. People with unshakable confidence don't desperately chase money because they know money is already seeking them. They don't panic during financial difficulties because they know these are just temporary detours, not permanent destinations. This emotion is incredibly magnetic because confidence is attractive. People want to do business with confident individuals. They want to invest in confident ventures. They want to lend money to confident borrowers. Linda developed this confidence through a daily practice I taught her called the Wealth Identity Meditation. Every morning for 20 minutes, she would sit quietly and repeat to herself, "I am wealth. Wealth is my natural state. I am temporarily experiencing lack, but my true nature is abundance. Money flows to me because I am aligned with prosperity." She would feel this truth in her bones, not just think it in her head. This practice gradually shifted her entire energetic frequency. Instead of approaching potential clients from a place of need, she approached them from a place of service. Instead of desperately trying to convince people to hire her, she calmly demonstrated her value and let them decide. The shift was magnetic. Clients began competing for her services instead of her competing for their business. The fourth magnetic emotion, present moment joy. This is perhaps the most important and most overlooked magnetic emotion. Present moment joy is the ability to feel happy and fulfilled right now, regardless of your current financial situation. Most people make their happiness conditional on their financial circumstances. I'll be happy when I have enough money. I'll feel good when my debts are paid off. I'll enjoy life when I'm financially secure. This conditional happiness creates a frequency of lack because you're constantly broadcasting the message that you're not enough. You don't have enough. Your life isn't good enough right now. Wealthy people understand something profound. Happiness is not the result of wealth. Happiness is what attracts wealth. When you can feel genuine joy and fulfillment in your current circumstances while simultaneously working toward greater abundance, you create an irresistible magnetic field. Linda mastered this through what I call the abundance appreciation practice. Every evening, she would spend 15 minutes appreciating aspects of her current life that demonstrated abundance. The air she could breathe freely, the water that flowed from her tap, the friends who cared about her, the health she enjoyed, the opportunities available to her. She would feel genuine appreciation for these forms of abundance while also holding the vision of financial abundance coming to her. This practice kept her in a high-vibration emotional state even during challenging times, and this high vibration consistently attracted positive financial opportunities. The emotional magnetism daily protocol here is the exact daily practice that Linda and thousands of my other students have used to create financial breakthroughs. Morning activation, 15 minutes. Minutes 1-5. Anticipated gratitude. Feel genuine thankfulness for specific amounts of money that are coming to you. Be specific. Thank you for this $2,000 that's flowing to me this week. Minute 6-10. Purposeful excitement. Get excited about the positive impact you'll create with your wealth. Visualize helping others, solving problems, making a difference. Minutes 11-15. Unshakable confidence. Affirm your wealth identity. I am wealth. Abundance is my natural state. Money flows to me easily and consistently. Evening integration, 10 minutes. Minutes 1-5. Present moment joy. Appreciate the abundance that already exists in your life right now. Minutes 6-10. Gratitude. Multiplication. Feel grateful for any money that came to you during the day, even if it was just a penny found on the street. The emotional contagion effect. Something remarkable happens when you consistently practice these magnetic emotions. You become emotionally contagious. Other people start feeling more positive, optimistic, and abundant when they're around you. This emotional contagion effect is incredibly powerful for wealth creation because people love doing business with individuals who make them feel good. Linda discovered this when she noticed that clients would often hire her not just for her skills, but because they enjoyed how they felt in her presence. They felt more optimistic about their own businesses when talking with her. The resistance patterns you'll face as you begin practicing emotional magnetism. You'll encounter predictable resistance patterns. Pattern 1. The guilt response. You might feel guilty about being happy when you don't have much money yet. Your mind might say, "How can I feel grateful for money I don't have? Isn't this being dishonest?" Remember, you're not being dishonest. You're being strategic. You're aligning your emotional frequency with your desired reality. Pattern 2. The skepticism attack. Your logical mind might rebel against these practices. This is just wishful thinking. Emotions don't create money. Remember, the science is clear. Emotions create electromagnetic fields that influence how others perceive and respond to you. Pattern 3. The circumstance. Overwhelm. When facing financial challenges, it might feel impossible to maintain positive emotions. How can I feel abundant when I can't pay my bills? Remember, your current circumstances are the result of your past emotional patterns. To create new circumstances, you must establish new emotional patterns now. The emotional acceleration technique. For those ready for advanced practice, here's a technique that can dramatically accelerate your results. Once a week, spend 30 minutes in what I call emotional time travel. Imagine yourself 5 years in the future, having achieved all your financial goals. Feel the emotions your future self would feel. The confidence of financial security, the joy of being able to help others generously, the peace of never worrying about money, the excitement of new opportunities. Then bring those emotions back to your present moment. Carry them with you throughout your week. This technique collapses time and helps you embody the emotional frequency of wealth before the wealth arrives physically. Your emotional transformation begins now, starting tomorrow. Commit to the daily emotional magnetism protocol. Practice these 4 emotions consistently for 30 days and watch how your financial reality begins to shift. Remember, you're not trying to feel good despite your circumstances. You're feeling good to change your circumstances. In our next chapter, we're going to address the hidden saboteurs that might be blocking your magnetic attraction of wealth. Deep-seated mental blocks about money that were installed in your childhood. You're going to learn how to identify these blocks, understand their origins, and eliminate them permanently. Because no matter how perfectly you apply the techniques we've covered, if deep blocks remain, they will undermine your progress. Get ready to become the financial archaeologist of your own mind. Your deepest transformation awaits. Chapter 6. Eliminating Mental Blocks. About money, before we advance to the most sophisticated techniques, we need to clear the terrain. Even if you apply everything I teach perfectly, if deep mental blocks about money exist, they will sabotage your results like invisible landmines. Most people carry blocks they don't even realize exist. Blocks that were installed in childhood through seemingly innocent comments from parents, society, or religion. Blocks so deeply embedded that they operate below the threshold of conscious awareness, silently destroying every attempt at financial progress. The CEO who couldn't keep money. Let me tell you about Robert, a brilliant CEO who came to me in complete desperation. On paper, Robert was incredibly successful. He had built and sold 3 companies, each for millions of dollars. He was featured on magazine covers, spoke at conferences, and was considered a business genius by his peers. But Robert had a devastating secret. He couldn't keep money. Every time his wealth reached a certain level, around $2 million, something catastrophic would happen. Bad investments, unexpected lawsuits, market crashes that seemed to affect only him. Business partners who would betray him. Without fail, he would lose everything and have to start over. "It's like I'm cursed," he told me during our first session. "I can make money, but I can't keep it. Something always goes wrong." Robert wasn't cursed. He was blocked. During our work together, we discovered that when Robert was 7 years old, his wealthy grandfather had died in a car accident. At the funeral, Robert's mother, overwhelmed with grief, had said, "Grandpa's money didn't save him. Rich people die just as poor people do. Maybe it's better to be poor and alive than rich and dead." That single statement, spoken in a moment of pain, had installed a program in Robert's 7-year-old mind. Being wealthy is dangerous. Wealthy people die. To stay alive, I must not stay wealthy. For 30 years, this program had been operating in Robert's subconscious, creating elaborate scenarios to eliminate his wealth whenever it exceeded his safety threshold. Once we identified and eliminated this block, Robert's financial life stabilized completely. He's now worth over $15 million and hasn't experienced a single financial disaster in the 3 years since our work. Together, the anatomy of money blocks. Money blocks are like computer viruses in your mental software. They corrupt your financial decision-making, sabotage your opportunities, and create self-fulfilling prophecies of limitation. These blocks form during what psychologists call Imprint periods, moments when your young mind was emotionally open and highly suggestible. The most common imprint periods for money blocks are the ages 0 to 7, the foundation years. During this period, your basic sense of safety and scarcity is formed. If your family struggled financially during these years, you might have absorbed the belief that there's never enough, or money is scarce and hard to get. Ages 8, 14. The identity years. During this period, you form beliefs about what kind of person you are and what's possible for people like you. If you heard messages like, "We're not the type of family that has money," or "Rich people are different from us," these became part of your core identity. Ages 15 to 21, the possibility years. During this period, you form beliefs about what's possible in the world and your place in it. Economic hardships, family financial crises, or cultural messages about money during these years can create lasting limitations. The 5 universal money blocks. Through working with thousands of clients, I've discovered that nearly everyone carries one or more of 5 universal money blocks. Let me help you identify which ones might be sabotaging your financial success. Block number 1. Money is the root of all evil. This is perhaps the most destructive money block in existence. If you grew up hearing this phrase, your subconscious has associated wealth with moral corruption. The result? Every time you get close to significant wealth, your subconscious creates a crisis to save you from becoming an evil person. Dara's story. Sarah was a talented real estate agent who consistently earned good commissions until she approached 6-figure income levels. Then, without fail, she would make poor decisions that would cost her major deals. During our work together, she remembered her religious grandmother constantly saying, "Money is the root of all evil. The love of money corrupts good people." The cure: understanding that money is morally neutral. Money is just a tool, like a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a home or to hurt someone. The tool itself isn't evil. It's how you use it that matters. New programming. Money is a neutral tool that I can use for good. The more money I have, the more good I can do in the world. Block number 2. Rich people are greedy and selfish. If you believe that becoming wealthy means becoming a bad person, your subconscious will sabotage your wealth to preserve your identity as a good person. Michael's story. Michael was a software developer who had several opportunities to create wealth through his innovations, but he consistently underpriced his services and gave away his intellectual property. His father had been laid off by a greedy, rich boss when Michael was 12, and Michael had unconsciously vowed never to become like that man. The cure: recognize that there are generous rich people and selfish poor people, just as there are generous poor people and selfish rich people. Wealth doesn't determine character. Character determines how wealth is used. New programming. I can be both wealthy and generous. My wealth allows me to help more people and make a bigger positive impact. Block number 3. I don't deserve to be rich. This block creates a profound sense of unworthiness around money. People with this block feel guilty when they earn money easily or feel they must suffer to deserve financial success. Jennifer's story. Jennifer was a consultant who consistently undercharged for her services and felt guilty whenever clients paid her. She traced this back to her mother constantly saying, "We don't deserve nice things. We should be grateful for what we have and not ask for more." The cure: understanding that everyone deserves abundance. You don't have to earn your worthiness. You were born worthy. Your job is not to prove you deserve wealth. Your job is to accept it. New programming. I deserve abundance simply because I exist. I am worthy of wealth, and I accept it gracefully. Block number 4. If I get rich, I'll lose my friends. The fear of social rejection keeps many people trapped in financial mediocrity. They unconsciously limit their success to maintain belonging with their current social group. David's story. David was afraid to pursue a lucrative business opportunity because his friends constantly made jokes about selling out and becoming one of those rich jerks. He stayed at his low-paying job to maintain these friendships, sacrificing his financial dreams for social acceptance. The cure. Realize that true friends celebrate your success. Those who are threatened by your growth aren't true friends. As you evolve, your social circle will naturally evolve too, often for the better. New programming. My success inspires others and attracts like-minded, successful people into my life. I trust that my real friends want the best for me. Block number 5. Making money is hard and requires sacrifice. If you believe that money must be earned through struggle and suffering, you'll unconsciously create difficult paths to wealth and reject opportunities that seem too easy. Tom's story. Tom worked 80-hour weeks building his business because he believed that anything worth having requires hard work and sacrifice. When opportunities arose for passive income or easier profits, he rejected them as not real work. He was trapped in the martyr complex of wealth creation. The cure. Understanding that the most successful people work smart, not just hard. Money can flow easily when you're aligned with the right opportunities and strategies. New programming. Money comes to me easily and effortlessly when I'm aligned with my purpose and providing value to others. The 5-minute daily block. Elimination technique. I'm going to teach you a powerful technique for dissolving these blocks at the subconscious level. I call it the inner child money dialogue. Every night before bed, for just 5 minutes, have a conversation with your subconscious mind as if you're speaking to a frightened child. I know you learned some scary things about money when we were young. I know you're trying to protect us by keeping us poor, but I need you to understand that we're safe now. We're adults now. We can have money and still be good people. We can be wealthy and still be loved. It's safe for us to be rich now. Speak gently, with compassion and understanding. Your subconscious mind has been trying to protect you based on the information it received during your childhood. It's not your enemy. It's just operating on outdated programming. Continue this dialogue for 21 nights in a row. You'll be amazed at how your relationship with money begins to shift. The block detection exercise. To identify your specific blocks, complete these sentences without thinking. Rich people are. Money is. I can't be wealthy because if I had a lot of money, people would think my family taught me that money. Your immediate, uncensored responses will reveal your subconscious programming. These are the beliefs you need to reprogram the evidence gathering. Method. Your subconscious mind loves evidence. One powerful way to eliminate money blocks is to actively seek evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs. If you believe rich people are selfish, research wealthy philanthropists like Bill Gates, Warren Buffett, or Oprah Winfrey. Study their charitable work and generous giving. If you believe money corrupts people, find examples of wealthy individuals who maintained their values and used their wealth for good. If you believe making money is hard, study people who created wealth through passive income, investments, or businesses that run without their constant presence. Collect this evidence like a detective building a case. Show your subconscious mind that your limiting beliefs aren't universal truths. The gradual expansion approach. Sometimes money blocks are so strong that they need to be dissolved gradually. If your subconscious is terrified of significant wealth, start small. Instead of trying to program yourself for millions immediately, begin with an extra $500 per month. Once your subconscious becomes comfortable with that level, gradually increase to $1,000, then $2,000, and so on. This gradual approach helps your subconscious adapt to increasing levels of wealth without triggering its protective mechanisms. The family pattern. Analysis. Money blocks are inherited from family patterns. Take some time to analyze your family's relationship with money. How did your parents handle money? What did they say about wealthy people? How did they react to bills and financial stress? What messages did you receive about your family's financial identity? Understanding these patterns helps you recognize which beliefs are truly yours and which were simply inherited. The forgiveness protocol. Sometimes money blocks are tied to anger or resentment toward people who hurt you financially. Perhaps a parent who was irresponsible with money, a business partner who cheated you, or an employer who underpaid you. Carrying this anger creates energetic blocks to receiving money. The forgiveness protocol involves acknowledging the hurt and anger too, understanding that forgiveness doesn't excuse their behavior, choosing to forgive for your own freedom and financial well-being. 4. Releasing the emotional charge around these experiences. Your block elimination. Action plan starting immediately. Identify your blocks using the sentence. Completion exercised. Choose your strongest block and focus on dissolving it. First, practice the inner child dialogue every night for 21 nights. Gather evidence that contradicts your limiting belief. 5. Install new programming through daily affirmations. 6. Monitor your progress by noting changes in your thoughts, feelings, and financial opportunities. Remember, these blocks took years to form. Give yourself patience and compassion as you dissolve them. In our next chapter, we're going to explore the advanced techniques of financial magnetism. These are the same methods that multimillionaires use to accelerate their wealth creation and maintain consistent prosperity. You're going to learn visualization techniques so powerful they can literally change your brain structure in weeks. You're going to discover how to create wealth anchors that keep you aligned with abundance even during challenging times. Most importantly, you're going to learn how to combine all the elements we've covered into a comprehensive magnetic wealth system that works automatically. Even while you sleep, your transformation is accelerating. Your blocks are dissolving. Your magnetic power is awakening. Chapter 7. Advanced Techniques of Financial Magnetism. You've cleared your blocks and reprogrammed your basic mind. You're ready for the advanced techniques. These are the same methods that millionaires have paid fortunes to learn from spiritual masters and high-level coaches. What I'm about to teach you goes beyond simple visualization or positive thinking. These are precision instruments for reality creation, based on cutting-edge neuroscience, quantum physics, and ancient wisdom traditions. The Billionaire's Secret Laboratory. 5 years ago, I was invited to a private retreat in Switzerland, attended by 12 individuals whose combined net worth exceeded $40 billion. The purpose of this gathering wasn't business strategy or investment advice. It was to share the most advanced consciousness techniques for wealth creation. What I learned during those 3 days changed my understanding of how the ultra-wealthy actually create and maintain their fortunes. They don't just work hard or make smart investments. They use sophisticated mental technologies that most people have never heard of. The man who organized this retreat, someone I'll call Marcus, though that's not his real name, had built his $12 billion empire using techniques he'd learned from Tibetan monks, quantum physicists, and neuroscientists. He shared 4 advanced techniques that I'm now going to teach you. Advanced technique. Number 1, holographic visualization. This isn't ordinary visualization. Ordinary visualization is like watching a movie on a flat screen. Holographic visualization is like stepping inside the movie and living it with all your senses. When most people visualize having money, they create vague, fuzzy images in their minds. I see myself with lots of money. This type of visualization has minimal impact on the subconscious mind because it lacks specificity and sensory detail. Holographic visualization engages every sensory system in your brain, creating a 3-dimensional, multi-sensory experience that your subconscious mind cannot distinguish from reality. The complete holographic process. Find a quiet space where you won't be disturbed for 20 minutes. Close your eyes and begin constructing your wealthy reality in precise detail. Visual construction. See yourself in your ideal wealthy lifestyle, but make it incredibly specific. Don't just see a nice house. See the exact color of the front door, the texture of the marble countertops, the way sunlight streams through specific windows. Notice the clothes you're wearing, the quality of the fabric, the way they fit your body. Auditory details. Hear the specific sounds of your wealthy life, the gentle hum of your luxury car's engine, the sound of your expensive shoes on marble floors, the rustling of crisp new $100 bills as you count them, the tone of your voice when you speak with the confidence of financial security. Kinesthetic sensations. Feel the physical sensations of wealth, the weight of an expensive watch on your wrist, the smooth leather of luxury car seats against your skin, the texture of high-quality fabrics, the physical sensation of confidence and relaxation that comes from financial security, olfactory experiences. Smell the new car, smell of your luxury vehicle, the scent of expensive cologne or perfume, the fresh smell of new money, the aroma of a high-end restaurant where you're dining without concern for the cost. Gustatory elements. Taste the expensive champagne you're celebrating with, the exquisite flavors of a meal at a 5-star restaurant, the satisfaction of knowing you can afford the finest foods and drinks. Emotional integration. Most importantly, feel the emotions of your wealthy self, the deep peace of financial security, the joy of being able to help others generously, the excitement of new opportunities, the gratitude for your abundance. Practice this for 20 minutes daily. Your brain will begin creating neural pathways as if this experience is real, compelling your subconscious to seek ways to make it reality. Advanced technique. Number 2, the abundance decree. This is far more powerful than affirmations. An affirmation is a hope or wish. A decree is a command given with absolute authority and expectation of fulfillment. When you make a decree, you're not asking the universe for something. You're not hoping something will happen. You're declaring what is already true in the quantum field of possibilities and commanding it to manifest in physical reality. The decree formula. Every morning, immediately upon waking, before you do anything else, stand up and speak your decree with absolute conviction. I decree that wealth flows to me now from multiple sources in ways that surprise and delight me. I decree that opportunities for abundance present themselves to me today in perfect timing. I decree that I am aligned with the frequency of prosperity, and that prosperity aligns with me. I decree that obstacles to my wealth dissolve effortlessly, and that pathways to abundance open before me. I am wealth. Wealth is me, and so it is. The power elements of effective decreeing. Authority. Speak as if you have absolute authority over your financial reality, because you do. Present tense. Don't say, I will be wealthy. Say, I am wealthy, or wealth flows to me. Now, specificity includes specific elements like multiple sources and perfect timing. Emotion. Feel the power and truth of your words as you speak them. Certainty. End with absolute finality, and so it is. Advanced technique. Verse 3. Quantum gratitude. Multiplication, regular gratitude practices focus on appreciating what you already have. Quantum gratitude multiplication involves feeling grateful for what's happening in the quantum field right now, the abundance that's in the process of manifesting but hasn't appeared physically. Yet this technique is based on quantum physics, principles that show how observation and intention can collapse quantum possibilities into physical reality. When you feel grateful for abundance that exists in the quantum field, you accelerate its manifestation into your physical experience. The quantum gratitude process. 3 times daily. Morning, afternoon, and evening. Spend 5 minutes in quantum gratitude. Morning quantum gratitude. I am deeply grateful for the $10,000 that is flowing into my experience this month, from sources I haven't even discovered yet. I am grateful for the perfect business opportunity that is aligning with me right now. I am grateful for the abundance that is condensing from the quantum field into my physical reality at this very moment. Afternoon. Quantum gratitude. I am grateful for the money that has been drawn into my experience today. Even if I haven't consciously noticed it yet, I am grateful for the financial opportunities that are arranging themselves in my favor right now. I am grateful for the abundance that is seeking me as eagerly as I am seeking it. Evening. Quantum gratitude. I am grateful for all the abundance that moved closer to me today. I am grateful for the way the universe conspired to bring me wealth today, in ways both seen and unseen. I am grateful for the financial momentum that builds while I sleep. The key is to feel genuine gratitude, not just think the words. This gratitude creates a magnetic pull that draws quantum possibilities into manifestation. Advanced technique. Number 4. The wealth identity embodiment. This is the most sophisticated technique and the one that creates the most dramatic results. Instead of trying to attract wealth to your current identity, you completely embody the identity of someone who already possesses the wealth you desire. Most people approach wealth creation from their current identity. I am a struggling person trying to become wealthy. This creates resistance because you're trying to become something you're not. Wealth identity embodiment reverses this. I'm a wealthy person who is temporarily experiencing a cash flow lag. This eliminates resistance because you're not trying to become wealthy. You're simply allowing your true wealthy nature to express itself. The 3 pillars of wealth identity embodiment. Pillar 1. Decision-making embodiment. Throughout your day, ask yourself, how would a millionaire handle this situation? Then handle it that way. This gradually trains your brain to think like a wealthy person. When faced with a financial decision, ask, what would someone with abundant resources choose here? When dealing with people, ask, How would a wealthy person interact in this situation? This isn't about spending money you don't have. It's about adopting the mindset, confidence, and decision-making patterns of wealthy individuals. Pillar 2. Energy embodiment. Wealthy people carry themselves differently. They move with confidence, speak with authority, and radiate an energy of abundance. Start embodying this energy immediately. Walk like someone who has financial confidence. Speak like someone who doesn't worry about money. Sit like someone who knows they're worth millions. Dress with the care of someone who values themselves highly. Your energy is a broadcast system. When you embody wealthy energy, you attract wealthy opportunities. Pillar 3. Expectation, an embodiment. Wealthy people expect good things to happen. They expect opportunities to present themselves. They expect people to treat them well. They expect their investments to grow. Start expecting abundance. Expect unexpected income. Expect people to want to do business with you. Expect opportunities to find you. Expect your financial situation to improve consistently. The integration protocol. The Millionaires' Hour. To integrate all 4 advanced techniques, I recommend what I call the Millionaires' Hour, a daily practice that combines all elements. Minutes 120. Holographic visualization. Create your complete wealthy reality using all 5 senses plus emotions. Minutes 21:25. Abundance decree. Speak your wealth decree with absolute authority and conviction. Minutes 26:35. Quantum gratitude. Feel grateful for the abundance that's manifesting from the quantum field. Minutes 36:60. Identity embodiment planning plan. How you'll embody wealthy identity throughout the day. Choose specific situations where you'll think, act, and feel like a millionaire. The resistance amplification effect. I must warn you, as you begin practicing these advanced techniques, you may experience what I call resistance amplification. Your old programming will fight back harder than ever because these techniques are so powerful. You might experience sudden financial emergencies, relationship conflicts about money, intense doubts about whether this works, strong urges to quit the practice, criticism from others about your unrealistic goals. This resistance is actually proof that the techniques are working. Your old reality is fighting to maintain itself. The stronger the resistance, the closer you are to breakthrough. Marcus, the billionaire who taught me these techniques, experienced massive resistance when he first started. On day 18 of his practice, he lost his job, his girlfriend left him, and his car broke down all in the same week. He was tempted to quit, but his mentor encouraged him to continue. 3 days later, he received a call about a business opportunity that became the foundation of his first million-dollar company. The compound effect timeline. Here's what you can expect as you consistently practice these advanced techniques. Weeks 1-2. Initial resistance and old patterns fighting back. Weeks 3-4. Subtle shifts in how people respond to you. Weeks 5-8. Small but noticeable improvements in financial opportunities. Weeks 9-12. Significant positive changes in your financial reality. Months 4-6. Major breakthroughs and quantum leaps in income. Months 7-12. Complete transformation of your financial life. The mastery principle. Remember, these aren't techniques you practice until you get rich and then abandon. They're tools for maintaining and multiplying wealth throughout your life. Even billionaires continue using versions of these methods to stay aligned with abundance. The difference between temporary success and lasting wealth is the consistency of your inner practice, your advanced practice. Commitment starting tomorrow. Commit to the Millionaires Hour daily for the next 90 days. Don't skip days. Don't make excuses. Your financial breakthrough depends on your consistency during this crucial period. In our next chapter, we're going to explore how to create what I call magnetic opportunities. Situations where wealth-building opportunities literally seek you out instead of you having to chase them. You're going to learn the secret of inspired action versus desperate action and how to tell the difference. You're going to discover how to recognize and act on the subtle signals that lead to exponential financial growth. Most importantly, you're going to learn how to become the type of person that opportunities are magnetically drawn to. Your transformation is accelerating beyond what you thought possible. The advanced techniques are activating. Your magnetic field is strengthening. Get ready to become a magnet for extraordinary opportunities. Chapter 8. Creating Magnetic Opportunities. People apply all the mental techniques perfectly, but forget a crucial component: inspired action. The magnetic formula of wealth isn't about sitting and waiting for money to fall from the sky. It's about aligning your energy in such a way that you're inspired to take the right actions at the right time, in the right way. When you're magnetically aligned, opportunities don't just appear. They practically throw themselves at you. But more importantly, you become capable of recognizing and acting on opportunities that people walk right past every single day. The accountant who built a $50 million empire. Let me tell you about Carlos, a 45-year-old accountant who applied the magnetic formula and in 18 months created a business that generated $50 million in revenue. In its first year, Carlos started by applying all the mental techniques I've taught you. After 3 weeks, something interesting began happening. He started having ideas out of nowhere. Insights about how to solve his clients' problems in completely new ways. One morning, while drinking coffee, he had the idea to create a software application that would automate accounting for small businesses. The idea came like a lightning bolt, complete, detailed, and crystal clear. But here's the crucial point. If Carlos hadn't been magnetically aligned, this idea would have passed through his mind like thousands of other random thoughts. Because he was in a high vibration state, he recognized this as an inspired idea and acted on it immediately. Within 6 months, he had developed a prototype. Within 12 months, he had his first 1,000 customers. Within 18 months, he had sold the company for $50 million. The opportunity was always there. The technology existed. The market need existed. But Carlos only became capable of seeing and acting on this opportunity when he achieved magnetic alignment. The 4 stages of magnetic opportunity creation. Magnetic opportunities don't happen by accident. They follow a precise 4-stage process that you can learn to recognize and accelerate. Stage 1. Frequency alignment. Through the mental techniques you've learned, you tune your frequency to match the frequency of abundance. This is like tuning a radio to pick up a specific station. When you're aligned with abundance frequency, you begin to receive opportunities that are broadcasting on that same frequency. Most people live their entire lives tuned to scarcity frequency. They can only perceive opportunities that match their limited expectations. When million-dollar opportunities broadcast around them, they simply can't receive the signal. Carlos spent 3 weeks using the advanced visualization and decree techniques. During this time, his brain was literally rewiring itself to perceive abundance-level opportunities. Neuroscientists call this neuroplasticity, your brain's ability to form new neural pathways based on repeated thoughts and emotions. Stage 2. Inspired recognition. You're aligned with abundance frequency. You begin receiving what I call inspired downloads, sudden insights, ideas, and recognitions that seem to come from nowhere, but are actually coming from the universal field of infinite possibilities. These inspired recognitions feel different from ordinary thoughts. They come with a sense of excitement, certainty, and rightness. They often solve problems you've been thinking about or open pathways you hadn't considered. The key is learning to distinguish between inspired ideas and random thoughts. Inspired ideas typically have these characteristics. They come suddenly and completely formed. They feel exciting and energizing. They solve real problems for real people. They feel both challenging and achievable. They align with your values and purpose. They create value for others while generating wealth for you. Stage 3. Aligned action. This is where most people fail. They receive inspired ideas but then either ignore them, overthink them, or take action from a place of desperation rather than alignment. Aligned action feels different from desperate action. When you take aligned action, you feel energized rather than drained. Obstacles seem to dissolve rather than multiply. People are drawn to help you. Resources appear when you need them. Progress feels natural and flowing. You attract supporters and partners. Carlos took aligned action on his software idea. Instead of quitting his job immediately and panicking about money, he methodically developed his idea while maintaining his income. Instead of trying to do everything himself, he attracted the right partners and investors. Instead of forcing his timeline, he allowed the process to unfold naturally while maintaining consistent progress. Stage 4. Accelerated manifestation. When your actions are perfectly aligned with your magnetic frequency, results appear much faster than would be normal. This is because you're working with universal laws rather than against them. Carlos's business grew exponentially because every decision he made was guided by his alignment with abundance frequency. He attracted the right developers, the right investors, the right customers, and the right buyer at exactly the right times. The inspiration recognition system. Let me teach you a practical system for recognizing and acting on inspired opportunities. The daily inspiration check-in. Every morning, after your mental training, sit quietly for 5 minutes and ask, what opportunities are seeking me today? What actions is my highest self inspired to take? Don't think about the answers. Let them arise naturally. Write down whatever comes to mind, even if it seems unrelated to money or unrealistic. The excitement meter. Throughout your day, pay attention to your excitement level when different ideas or opportunities present themselves. Excitement is your internal GPS system pointing toward aligned opportunities. Rate ideas on a scale of 1 to 10. 1. 3. Low excitement, probably not aligned. 4 to 6. Moderate excitement, worth considering. 7. High excitement, likely inspired. Take action. The ease factor, aligned opportunities often feel challenging, but not overwhelming. They stretch you, but don't break you. If an opportunity feels either too easy, probably not aligned with growth, or impossibly difficult, probably fear-based, it may not be the right one. The value creation test. Ask yourself, does this opportunity create genuine value for other people? Aligned opportunities always involve serving others while generating wealth for yourself. If an opportunity is purely selfish or takes advantage of others, it's not magnetically aligned. The 3 types of magnetic opportunities. In my experience working with thousands of clients, magnetic opportunities fall into 3 main categories. Type 1. The unexpected windfall. These are opportunities that bring money to you without requiring you to build something new. Examples include unexpected inheritances or gifts, legal settlements in your favor, found money or valuable items, winning contests or lotteries, debt forgiveness or payment errors in your favor. While these opportunities are wonderful, don't rely solely on them.
They're usually universe's way of providing resources for bigger opportunities. Type 2. The perfect partnership.
Opportunities involve connecting with exactly the right people who can accelerate your wealth creation. Examples include meeting an investor for your business idea, finding the perfect business partner, connecting with a mentor who opens doors, meeting someone who needs exactly what you offer, being introduced to influential people in your field. Carlos experienced this when he randomly met a software developer at a coffee shop who became his co-founder and technical partner. Type 3. The market gap recognition are opportunities where you suddenly see a need in the marketplace that you can fill profitably. Examples include recognizing an underserved customer group, seeing a way to improve existing products or services, identifying emerging trends before others do, finding inefficiencies you can solve, discovering new applications for existing technologies. This was Carlos's primary opportunity type, recognizing that small businesses needed simpler accounting, software. The Magnetic Opportunity Acceleration Protocol. Accelerate the appearance of magnetic opportunities in your life. Follow this daily protocol. Morning preparation, 10 minutes. Set clear intention. I am open to receiving perfect opportunities today. Visualize yourself recognizing and acting on an inspired opportunity. Feel gratitude for opportunities that are already flowing toward you. Beta awareness, 5 minutes. Check in with your excitement levels about current activities. Ask, what opportunity might I be overlooking right now? Notice any people, conversations, or situations that feel unusually significant. Evening integration, 10 minutes. Review the day for any inspired ideas or opportunities that appeared. Write down anything that excited you or felt significant. Set intention for tomorrow's opportunities to be even clearer. The common magnetic opportunity. Mistakes. Most people sabotage their magnetic opportunities through these common mistakes. Mistake 1. Analysis paralysis. They receive an inspired idea but then overanalyze it until the inspiration dies. Inspired ideas come with their own energy and timing. If you analyze them too long, you miss the window of perfect timing. Solution. Set a maximum analysis time of 72 hours for any inspired idea. If it still feels aligned after 3 days, take the first concrete action step. Mistake 2. Fear-based hesitation. They recognize the opportunity, but let fear stop them from acting. Fear of failure, fear of success, fear of what others will think. Solution. Remember that aligned opportunities come with their own support system. The same universe that sends the opportunity also provides the resources to pursue it successfully. Mistake 3. Perfectionism. They wait until they have all the information, all the resources, and all the skills before taking action. But magnetic opportunities require faith and trust in the process. Solution. Take the next logical step with the resources you currently have. The path reveals itself as you walk it. Mistake 4. Attachment to specific outcomes. They become so attached to how they think the opportunity should unfold that they miss better possibilities that arise along the way. Solution. Stay committed to the vision, but flexible about the path. Often, the universe has even better plans than you imagined. The Opportunity Magnetism Amplifier. Here's an advanced technique for dramatically increasing the number and quality of opportunities that flow to you. The Service Amplification Method. Every day, look for ways to serve others without any expectation of direct return. This could be helping a colleague solve a problem, introducing two people who could benefit from knowing each other, sharing valuable information freely, offering your skills to help someone in need. This service creates what I call karmic magnetism. The more value you put into the universe, the more value flows back to you, often in unexpected forms. Carlos discovered this principle when he started helping other small business owners with their accounting challenges for free. These conversations led to insights about market needs, which led to his software idea, which led to his $50 million exit. The Opportunity Tracking System. To accelerate your recognition of patterns and opportunities, keep a daily opportunity journal, daily entry format. Opportunities I noticed today, people I met who felt significant, ideas that excited me, synchronicities or unusual coincidences, actions I took on previous opportunities, results from past aligned actions. Weekly review. Look for patterns in the types of opportunities appearing. Notice which actions produced the best results. Identify areas where you might be missing opportunities. Celebrate progress and manifestations, the compound effect of magnetic opportunities. Here's what happens as you consistently apply these principles. Opportunities begin building on each other. Each aligned action creates the foundation for bigger opportunities. Each successful manifestation increases your confidence and magnetic power. Carlos's accounting software success led to speaking opportunities, which led to consulting contracts, which led to investment opportunities, which led to his current portfolio of 7 companies worth over $200 million. One aligned opportunity becomes the launching pad for exponentially greater success. In our next chapter, we're going to explore how to maintain this magnetic flow consistently. You're going to learn why some people experience wealth in bursts but can't sustain it, while others create steady, ever-increasing prosperity. You're going to discover the secrets of what I call prosperity maintenance, the daily practices and mindset adjustments that keep the wealth flowing consistently, even during challenging economic times. Most importantly, you're going to learn how to expand your capacity to receive and manage greater levels of abundance without overwhelming your system. Your opportunity recognition is sharpening. Your magnetic field is strengthening. The universe is preparing to deliver opportunities beyond your current imagination. Get ready to become a master of sustained prosperity. Chapter 9. Maintaining the constant flow of prosperity. Getting wealth is one thing. Maintaining it flowing constantly is something completely different. You know people who have had money and lost everything, right? I know several. And I also know people who, no matter how many times they lose everything, always manage to recover and multiply their wealth quickly. The difference lies in understanding that wealth is not a destination, but a state of being, a constant flow that needs to be nourished daily. The millionaire who lost everything. 7 times. Let me tell you about Richard Branson. No, wait, that's too famous. Let me tell you about someone I'll call Thomas, a real estate investor I've known for 15 years. In those 15 years, Thomas has lost everything and rebuilt his fortune 7 times. Not small amounts. We're talking about going from millions to literally zero and back to millions again. The first time it happened, I thought it was bad luck. The second time, I wondered if he was just reckless with money. By the third time, I realized there was a pattern. By the seventh time, I understood something profound. Thomas had mastered the art of wealth creation, but never learned the science of wealth maintenance. Thomas could create wealth because he understood opportunities, had great sales skills, and wasn't afraid to take risks, but he couldn't maintain wealth because he treated it like a destination rather than a process. After his seventh financial collapse, Thomas finally came to me for help. That's when I taught him what I'm about to teach you, the 3 fundamental pillars of sustained prosperity. Once Thomas implemented these pillars, something remarkable happened. Not only did he rebuild his wealth for the 8th time, but he's maintained and multiplied it consistently for the past 4 years. His net worth has grown from 0 to $15 million, and more importantly, it's stable and growing. The 3 pillars of constant flow pillar. 1. Energetic maintenance. Just like a car needs fuel to keep running, your financial magnetism needs daily energetic maintenance. Most people do their mental and emotional work until they achieve some financial success. Then they stop the practices that created the success in the first place. This is like going to the gym until you get in shape, then stopping all exercise and wondering why you gain weight again. Your magnetic field is not permanent. It requires daily maintenance through the same practices that created it initially. The daily maintenance protocol. Morning reactivation. 15 minutes. 5 minutes of holographic visualization of your ideal wealthy life. 5 minutes of abundance decrease. 5 minutes of gratitude for money flowing to you. Midday alignment. Check. 5 minutes. Check your emotional frequency. Am I vibrating abundance or scarcity right now? If you're in scarcity mode, spend 2 minutes shifting to abundance thoughts. Set intention for abundant opportunities in the afternoon. Evening integration. 10 minutes. Review the day for evidence of abundance flowing to you. Feel gratitude for any money that came to you. Even a penny counts. Program your subconscious for wealth creation while you sleep. Thomas learned this lesson the hard way. Every time he achieved financial success, he would stop his mental practices and focus only on business activities. Within months, his magnetic field would weaken, and he would start making poor decisions that led to financial loss. Now he maintains his practices religiously, regardless of his current financial situation, and his wealth continues to grow steadily. Pillar 2. Continuous expansion. Stagnant wealth is dying wealth. You need to constantly expand your capacity to receive and manage more abundance. This means always having financial goals that are bigger than your current situation, not from a place of dissatisfaction with what you have, but from excitement about what's possible. The expansion zones, comfort zone. Expansion. Every month, take on a financial challenge that stretches your comfort zone. This could be investing a slightly larger amount than feels completely comfortable, raising your prices or rates, pursuing a business opportunity that excites and slightly scares you, networking with people at a higher income level than yours, knowledge expansion, continuously invest in learning new skills, strategies and perspectives about wealth creation. Wealthy people never stop learning. They understand that in today's rapidly changing economy, yesterday's knowledge quickly becomes obsolete. Relationship expansion. Constantly expand your network to include people who are operating at higher financial levels than you, not to use them, but to learn from them and be inspired by what's possible. Thomas's pattern had been to focus intensely on one opportunity until it succeeded, then coast on that success until it inevitably declined. Now he continuously develops multiple income streams and constantly looks for the next level of opportunity. Pillar 3. Intelligent circulation. Money is energy, and energy needs to flow. People who get rich and stay rich understand the art of intelligent circulation. This doesn't mean spending money carelessly. It means understanding that money needs to circulate to remain healthy and multiply. The 4 types of intelligent circulation. Type 1. Investment circulation. Regularly reinvest a percentage of your income into assets that can generate more income. This could be real estate that produces rental income, stocks or bonds that pay dividends, business investments that generate profits, your own education and skill development. Type 2. Generosity circulation. Give money regularly to causes you believe in. This isn't just about being a good person, though that's important. Generosity creates what quantum physicists call entanglement with abundance. The more you give, the more the universe gives back to you. Start with whatever percentage feels comfortable, even 1% of your income. As your wealth grows, gradually increase your giving percentage. Type 3. Experience circulation. Spend money on experiences that expand your perspective and increase your capacity for wealth. This includes travel that broadens your understanding of opportunities, courses and seminars that upgrade your skills, networking events where you meet influential people, experiences that increase your confidence and self-worth. Lifestyle circulation. Yes, it's important to enjoy your wealth. Spending money on things that bring you genuine joy and improve your quality of life is not selfish. It's essential for maintaining a healthy relationship with money. The key is spending consciously, not compulsively. The wealth thermostat. Concept. Most people have what I call a wealth thermostat, a subconscious setting that determines their comfortable level of wealth. When their actual wealth goes above this setting, they unconsciously sabotage themselves to bring it back down. When it goes below, they work hard to bring it back up. Thomas's wealth thermostat was set at about $500,000. Every time his net worth exceeded this amount, he would make increasingly risky decisions until he lost everything. Then he would work frantically to get back to his comfort zone. Resetting your wealth thermostat. Step 1. Identify your current setting. Look at your financial history. What's the highest net worth you've maintained comfortably for at least a year? That's probably close to your current thermostat setting. Step 2. Gradual adjustment. Don't try to jump from a $50,000 thermostat to a $1,000 thermostat overnight. Your subconscious will resist dramatically. Instead, gradually adjust your thermostat setting by 50–100% each year. Step 3. Evidence collection. Continuously collect evidence that you can handle higher levels of wealth responsibly. This includes successfully managing increasing amounts of money, making wise financial decisions, using money to help others, maintaining your values and relationships despite wealth. Step 4. Identity evolution. Your wealth thermostat is tied to your identity. As you evolve your identity from someone who has X dollars to someone who naturally maintains. Why? Your thermostat adjusts accordingly. The prosperity maintenance. Mindset-sustained prosperity requires a fundamentally different mindset than creating initial wealth. Here are the key mental shifts from getting rich to being rich. Stop thinking about wealth as something you're trying to achieve and start thinking of it as something you are. You're not trying to become a rich person. You're a rich person whose wealth is currently manifesting from fear of loss to trust in flow. Accept that wealth naturally fluctuates. There will be good months and challenging months. Trust that if you maintain your magnetic alignment, the overall trend will always be upward. From hoarding to stewarding. See yourself as a steward of wealth rather than an owner. Your job is to manage money wisely and circulate it intelligently, not to hoard it out of fear. From scarcity backup plans to abundance backup plans. Instead of always planning for worst-case scenarios, spend equal time planning for best-case scenarios. What will you do when your wealth doubles, triples? How will you manage rapid expansion? The compound wealth effect. When you maintain constant prosperity rather than experiencing boom and bust cycles, something magical happens. The compound effect accelerates exponentially. Instead of losing momentum with each financial setback, you build consistent momentum that creates increasingly larger results with the same effort. Thomas experienced this after implementing the 3 pillars. In his first year of sustained prosperity, his net worth grew by $2 million. In his second year, it grew by $3 million. In his third year, by $5 million. Same effort, exponentially greater results. The seasonal cycles of wealth, just as nature has seasons, wealth creation has natural cycles. Understanding and flowing with these cycles helps maintain steady prosperity. Spring, planting season periods focused on new investments, starting new projects, planting seeds for future harvest. Energy is high. Opportunities are emerging. Summer, growing season periods focused on nurturing existing investments and projects. Steady effort, consistent progress, patience with the growing process. Fall, harvesting. Season periods of reaping rewards from previous investments. Higher income, successful project completions, enjoying the fruits of your labor. Winter, planning season periods of reflection, planning, and preparation. Lower activity, but important strategic thinking for the next cycle. Problems arise when people try to force harvest season all year round or don't take advantage of planting season when it arrives. Your prosperity maintenance protocol starting now. Implement this comprehensive protocol for sustained wealth daily. Complete the energetic maintenance routine. Check and adjust your wealth thermostat. Practice intelligent circulation in at least one area weekly. Review your expansion goals and take one action toward growth. Assess which seasonal cycle you're in and align your activities accordingly. Measure your progress toward long-term wealth goals. Monthly. Evaluate the health of your wealth flow. Adjust your maintenance practices based on results. Plan your circulation activities for the following month quarterly. Major review of your wealth systems and strategies. Celebrate your progress and learn from any setbacks. Set new expansion goals for the next quarter. Remember, the goal isn't just to get rich once. The goal is to create a sustainable system that maintains and multiplies your wealth for the rest of your life. In our final chapter, we're going to explore the highest level of wealth mastery, creating a legacy of prosperity that extends far beyond your own life. You're going to learn how to become a multiplier of abundance, not just for yourself, but for everyone you touch. You're going to discover the secret that the wealthiest families in the world have used for generations to create dynasties of prosperity that last for centuries. Most importantly, you're going to learn how multiplying wealth for others actually multiplies your own wealth exponentially, the ultimate expression of the magnetic formula. Your prosperity is stabilizing. Your wealth thermostat is adjusting. Your legacy is beginning to form. Get ready to become a creator of abundance for the world. Chapter 10. The Legacy of Wealth. Multiplying and sharing. We've reached the end of this journey. But in reality, this is just the beginning of your new financial life. The final secret of the magnetic formula of wealth is the most powerful of all, the principle of multiplication through sharing. When you apply everything you've learned in this audiobook, something magical happens. You don't just attract wealth for yourself. You become a channel of wealth for other people as well. The Billionaires' final lesson. Remember Marcus, the billionaire from Switzerland who taught me the advanced techniques. 3 years after that retreat, he invited me to his private island for what he called the final lesson. Everything I've taught you so far, he said as we walked along the beach, has been about becoming wealthy. But true mastery isn't about getting rich. It's about becoming a multiplier of abundance. He then shared something that changed my understanding of wealth forever. The universe has unlimited abundance, he explained, but it needs human channels to distribute that abundance in the physical world. When you master the magnetic formula, you don't just become rich. You become one of those channels. He paused, looking out at the ocean, and here's the secret that took me 20 years to discover. The more abundance you channel to others, the more flows through you. It's not just good karma, it's quantum physics. That conversation led me to study the wealth patterns of the world's most successful people. What I discovered was astounding. The multiplier effect. Every person who has created truly extraordinary wealth, not just millions, but hundreds of millions or billions, has one thing in common. They became multipliers of abundance for others. Henry Ford didn't just get rich making cars. He created an entire industry that made thousands of other people wealthy. Oprah Winfrey didn't just become a successful TV host. She became a platform that launched hundreds of other careers and businesses. Bill Gates didn't just build Microsoft. He created an ecosystem that generated wealth for millions of software developers, computer manufacturers, and technology companies. These people understood something profound. In the modern economy, the biggest fortunes are created by multiplying wealth for others, not by hoarding it for yourself. The quantum entanglement of abundance. Modern quantum physics has revealed something called quantum entanglement. When two particles become entangled, what happens to one instantly affects the other, regardless of the distance between them. The same principle applies to wealth. When you help someone else become wealthy, you create an energetic entanglement with abundance. The wealth that flows to them also flows to you, multiplied. This isn't mystical thinking. It's practical reality. When you help others succeed financially, they become loyal customers and advocates for your business. They refer other wealthy people to you. They often become partners in even bigger opportunities. They create a network effect that expands your influence. They contribute to an economy that supports your own wealth. the story of Elena. From broke to billionaire maker, let me tell you about Elena, a woman who applied this principle and created something extraordinary. 3 years ago, Elena was a struggling consultant, earning $45,000 per year. She had learned the magnetic formula techniques and successfully increased her income to $150,000 annually. But then she discovered the multiplication principle. Instead of just focusing on her own success, Elena began teaching other consultants how to apply the magnetic formula to their businesses. She started with free workshops, then created online courses, then developed a coaching program. But here's where it gets interesting. Instead of just teaching for profit, Elena became genuinely invested in her students' success. She celebrated their wins as enthusiastically as her own. She connected successful students with each other. She referred business opportunities to them. The result, Elena didn't just help hundreds of consultants increase their income. She created 17 millionaires in less than 2 years. And what happened to Elena's own wealth? Her business exploded. She went from $150,000 per year to over $10 million per year. She became known as the consultant's consultant, and now has clients paying her $100,000 for a single day of coaching. More importantly, she loves her work more than ever because she's not just creating wealth for herself. She's multiplying abundance throughout her entire industry. The 4 levels of wealth multiplication. There are 4 distinct levels of becoming a wealth multiplier. Each level increases both your positive impact and your own financial returns. Level 1. Personal mastery. This is where you've been throughout this audiobook. Mastering the magnetic formula for your own wealth creation. You must achieve this level before you can effectively help others. Most people never progress beyond this level, which is why they hit income ceilings and plateau financially. Level 2. Direct teaching. You begin sharing the magnetic formula principles with others. This could be through mentoring people in your field, teaching workshops or courses, writing books or creating content, coaching individuals or groups. At this level, you're directly transferring wealth creation knowledge to others. Level 3. System creation. You create systems, platforms, or businesses that automatically multiply wealth for others. Examples include building a company that makes your employees wealthy through profit sharing, creating an investment fund that generates returns for multiple investors, developing a platform that helps others sell their products or services, building a network or community that connects wealth creators. Level 4. Ecosystem development. You create entire ecosystems that generate wealth for thousands or millions of people. This is the level of the greatest wealth creators in history. Creating industries that employ millions, developing technologies that enable countless new businesses, building platforms that democratize wealth creation, establishing institutions that multiply abundance across generations. Your wealth multiplication strategy, based on everything you've learned and applied so far. Here's how to begin your journey as a wealth multiplier. Phase 1. Solidify your foundation. Months 1. Continue applying all the magnetic formula techniques until your own wealth flow is stable and growing. You must have a solid foundation before you can help others build theirs. Specific actions. Maintain daily magnetic alignment practices. Reach consistent monthly income of at least 150% of your starting point. Build 3 to 6 months of expenses in savings. Document your transformation process for future teaching. Phase 2. Begin sharing. Months 7 to 12. Start sharing your knowledge and experience with others in your field or situation. Specific actions. Identify 5-10 people who could benefit from what you've learned. Offer to mentor or coach them using the magnetic formula principles. Create content, blog posts, videos, social media about your transformation. Start building an audience of people interested in wealth creation. Phase 3. Develop systems. Year 2. Create more systematic ways to help others while generating income for yourself. Specific actions. Develop a structured program or course based on your experience. Create tools, resources, or systems that help others apply the magnetic formula. Build partnerships with others who serve your target market. Establish recurring revenue streams from helping others. Phase 4. Scale impact. Year 3+. Expand your ability to multiply wealth for larger numbers of people. Specific actions. Build a team to help you reach more people. Create passive systems that work without your direct involvement. Develop strategic partnerships with established platforms or organizations. Consider creating investment vehicles or business opportunities for others. Abundance. Mindset versus the scarcity. Mindset, you begin multiplying wealth for others. You'll face a crucial mindset choice. Scarcity. Mindset, if I help others get rich, there will be less wealth available for me. Abundance mindset. The more people I help get rich, the more wealth is created for everyone, including me. The universe operates on abundance principles. There is no limited supply of wealth that we're all competing for. Wealth is created through value creation, and there's unlimited potential for value creation. When you help someone else create $100,000 in new income, you haven't reduced the available wealth in the world. You've increased it. And through the principle of quantum entanglement, some of that newly created wealth flows back to you. The ripple effect of wealth multiplication. When you help someone become wealthy, they often help others become wealthy, creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your direct influence. Elena discovered this when she started receiving messages from people she had never met, thanking her for changing their lives. These were people who had been taught by her students, who had been taught by Elena. One of Elena's students, Marcus, different Marcus, used the techniques to build a real estate business. Marcus then taught his real estate agents the same principles. Those agents taught their clients. Those clients taught their friends and family. Elena conservatively estimates that her initial decision to multiply wealth for others has now positively impacted over 10,000 people's financial lives. And the ripple effect continues, expanding the compound return on generosity here. There's something remarkable about wealth multiplication. The returns compound exponentially over time. When you help someone make an extra tens, they might refer one client to you worth $5,000. But when you help someone build $1 million business, they might become a strategic partner in deals worth tens of millions. The more successful you make other people, the more valuable you become to them, and the more they can afford to pay for your help. Elena's first students paid her $500 for a course. Her current clients pay her $100,000 for a day of consulting. The difference? Her current clients are the millionaires she helped create over the past 3 years. Your legacy. Blueprint as we conclude this journey together. I want you to think beyond just your own financial success. I want you to consider the legacy you'll create. 1 year from now, how many people will you have introduced to these principles? How many lives will you have changed? How much wealth will you have helped create? 5 years from now, What systems will you have built to multiply abundance? How many success stories will point back to your influence? What ripple effects will you have set in motion? 20 years from now, what will be the total impact of your decision to become a wealth multiplier? How many generations will benefit from the abundance you helped create? Your immediate action plan starting tomorrow. Begin your transformation from wealth seeker to wealth multiplier. Week 1. Identify 3 people you can share these principles with. Week 2. Begin mentoring or teaching at least one person. Week 3. Document your own transformation story. Week 4. Create your first piece of content about wealth creation. 2. Develop a simple system for helping others apply the magnetic formula. Month 3. Launch your first wealth multiplication initiative, The Final Secret. Here is the final secret that Marcus shared with me on that beach. The people who become the wealthiest aren't those who hoard abundance for themselves. They're those who become channels for abundance to flow to others. When you make this shift from trying to get wealth to becoming a distributor of wealth, everything changes. Money stops being something you chase and becomes something that flows through you to serve the world. You stop being a taker and become a giver. You stop being a consumer and become a creator. You stop being a follower and become a leader. Your new reality begins now. As I record these final words, I'm filled with excitement for what you're about to create, not just for yourself, but for everyone whose life you'll touch with these principles. The magnetic formula of wealth isn't just about making you rich. It's about making you a force for abundance in the world. You now have knowledge that most people will never encounter. You have tools that can transform any financial situation. You have the power to create wealth, not just for yourself, but for countless others. The question is, what will you do with this power? I challenge you to think bigger than just your own success. I challenge you to become a multiplier of abundance. I challenge you to create a legacy that extends far beyond your own lifetime. The universe has unlimited abundance waiting to flow through willing channels. Today, you become one of those channels. Your magnetic formula is complete. Your wealth journey is accelerating. Your legacy is beginning. Welcome to your new reality as a creator and multiplier of abundance. The world is waiting for what you're going to create. Your journey. Forward immediate actions. Next 7 days. Choose your strongest magnetic formula technique and commit to daily practice to identify your first wealth multiplication opportunity. Begin documenting your transformation. 4. Take one concrete step toward your biggest financial goal under a 30-day challenge. Apply the complete magnetic formula system while beginning to share these principles with others. Track both your own progress and the impact you have on others. T-Day Transformation. By day 90, you should have significant improvement in your financial situation. At least one person you're actively helping with these principles. A clear vision for your wealth multiplication legacy. Momentum that feels unstoppable. Your abundance is infinite. Your impact is unlimited. Your time is now.